There will come a time when an elder darkness will stir deep below a city which is forgotten, and will surprise the elder, its children. Of these signs you will know the dark father, bastard of Cain, will awaken and drink deep of blood sacrificed to it.
We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Oops. Almost started the intro again. Oh, yeah. Someday I'll do this smoothly, but that day is not today. Hello, and welcome to Valley by Night. It's, of course, our Vampire 5th Edition Chronicle. Here on Dire Bear. It's actually Dire GM, Twitch TV Dire GM, I think.
Dire Bear GM, yeah.
But anyway, brought to you by Dire Bear and the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Sarah playing Jolene, Rap playing Maeve, Decca playing Blackjack, Eric playing Samuel, and Duba playing Alexander. Let's see, last week... What went on last week? Samuel made his report to Alejandro about what went down in Mooresville. He was relatively honest. He just left out the little bit where the mage had, buddies with him that may also know that vampires are a thing.
Yep.
Only a minor problem.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Alexander set up the security system in the pawn shop and tried to make friends with Bree. And she seemed a little more at ease with you when things were all said and done.
Huzzah!
Something about, spending a few hours with somebody and them not trying to eat you. Yeah. Builds trust. Blackjack had a visitor, his sire Lynn. They went and made something of a scene at Elysium, specifically the Ledges Country Club, Elysium. He and his truck are now banned from the Ledges.
Swap recipe.
Let me see. Jolene got some possibly disturbing news.
Yeah, it was Abla. Another thin blood was missing.
A thin blood had come
Also
up
a day drinker.
Check my notes here.
She'd gone missing about the time of the Blue Pine attack. She'd been staying further in the city with some folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think she was one that was in your domain proper.
No. You said she was staying with, I think, a couple that...
That's right, a living couple she was friends with.
Parked.
They were going to send somebody over to speak with them and make sure they'd been truthful,
Yeah.
Let's see. There'd been some experimentation with the werewolf blood, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yes, there was the convert. Yes, there it is on a block. I knew I'd read it down somewhere. Samuel may have done a little bit of plotting when he spoke with Nora Deschler and gave her kind of her starter's lesson in thaumaturgy.
Yep.
Maeve and Blackjack kind of play fault at her place of employment. She met Lynn. I'm trying to think, is there anything y'all can remember that I'm leaving out?
Not particularly.
Blackjack took Lynn to Samuel's Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
Found out there.
that was probably actually the biggest part of what got him kicked out of the Ledges.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely was.
Well, you know, he figures everybody knows where I live. It can't be that big a deal. Nobody's kicked in my door and pumped me full of dragon rounds yet.
Yet.
And if they do, it's not my problem no more.
Well, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to hit y'all with the Second Inquisition, but, you know, I do take notes whenever y'all really foul up over y'all's texts and stuff.
That's what you should.
Yep.
So, anyway, all this took place on, I believe it was Saturday, February 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
We are now jumping to Thursday, March 14th.
Woo. That's a hell of a jump.
Yes.
2019. It is National Pie Day. Though I don't think any of you vampires, other than maybe Jolene, would care about that.
There's some special at work or something.
More than likely.
Also, Blackjack cares about it. He just can't eat it for long.
Oh, that pie was so good. I think I'm going to go throw it up in the bushes and have another one.
I mean, hey, you never know. There could be some pie shots made for the club.
Jesus
Pie
Christ.
tasting shots. Yeah.
There you go.
So what have you each done in the intervening month? It's been a relatively quiet month as far as the city goes.
No
Well,
werewolf
other
incursions.
than a little information that'll come up when we get to Jolene. But
I don't know if the Mace want to go first or last.
we're going to save you for last, actually. So,
You don't
All
have
right,
a choice
so-
in the matter.
Blackjack.
Nice. In that case, I'm getting a drink.
You don't want to hear everybody
boy.
else? She already got it.
You go get the soju real quick. Blackjack, almost directly after receiving the text, will send Lynn to the Haven. And then he knows he did wrong. And he'll go face the music himself or he'll try to go face the music
Okay.
himself to.
So in some of the past month, Blackjack's been trying to make it up to Samuel, basically.
He's just going to receive. He knows he's going to get a verbal lashing, so he's going to get it over with as soon as he can, which would be the next day. And I mean, we could play that out if you want.
No, we're just going to kind of cover the
Okay.
month
Okay.
fairly.
I'm about to say, I'd be down for RP in that.
Maybe we should have done that at the end of last session.
So yeah,
I mean, we can do it now real quick. I'd be
If,
down.
if you've got a speech ready, go ahead.
It's not a speech. I was going to roll with what came.
He would try to go back to the country club the next day, and then he finds out he's banned. And he's like, okay, and then just turns back around. And it's more of I must have really fucked up, and then turns back around to his farm. And I imagine at some point Samuel will find him.
Well, y'all have the joint haven now too that y'all can hang out.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
find him at the antique shop.
yeah, and he'll call Blackjack to the Joint Haven.
He'll go.
He's just sort of waiting there, just fingers steepled.
All right, come on, hit me with it.
Back porch with a shotgun.
Blackjack, do you have
Samuel.
any idea just how badly you fucked up?
I mean, apparently I'm banned from the Hoity-Toity Country Club, so that kind of gave me an idea.
Yes. You went and damaged a decent chunk of the reputation that I have been making for our coterie among the higher-ups. I'm actually going to have to spend some time repairing that. You waltzed up into the ledges without real invitation.
I did what I was supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to do as per protocol.
You go. There are Elysiums all over the city. You could have had her write some form of letter to the Seneschal to introduce herself.
That's not direct at all.
No, it's not.
By the time they find out she's here, maybe she does something, and they don't know where she is.
The letter would have gotten to the Seneschal by the next night. So they would have been aware that she was here. This would not have been a formal presentation.
Oh, formal presentations.
Besides, it seems those up in the ledges have tolerated your appearance long enough. Now I know you are who you are, and that doesn't bother me. However, it does them. If you ever want to go up there again, you're going to need A, a better vehicle, and B, actually dressed like you belong there as opposed to just having just come out from romping in the fields.
It's just what I had on hand.
And you
Had
didn't
one
think to try
time.
and clean up at all.
I lopped off some mud.
That does. Appearances are everything in our society. You know that. However, all of that pales into the fact that you took a stranger to my haven. I don't care who the fuck she was. It is not someone that I know. It is not someone that I have put my trust in. It is not someone that I even wanted to know where my haven was. And you breached and broke the trust I put in you by taking her there. How would you like it if someone who you do not know, who could very well be a threat to the life of you, your entire herd, and everyone you know, just was invited right to your haven, right where you sleep, where you are at your most vulnerable during the day?
I mean, I don't have a gate behind mine.
Then it's even worse for you, isn't it? Think about these things, Blackjack. It's what I've been trying to get into all of your heads. I can't be around all the time to be the political animal for our coterie. There will come a time eventually you all will have to do it yourselves, outside of my cloak of influence. I am doing my best to give you all every weapon you need to succeed in this society we find ourselves in. But if you choose to disregard it and ignore my lessons, then there's nothing else that I can do for you. Do you understand? You being a Bruja alone is enough to put a target on your back, considering what the rest of your clan did, save for the sheriff and those that he sired. Do you understand how much work I go through to keep your name clean? Do you have any idea at all?
Not really.
Then stop making my job harder.
I apologize for the personal infraction that I have put upon you. However, I will not apologize for being me. I know now that taking Lynn to the Haven was wrong. However, I am me, and that's who I am as a person, even more so as a kindred. And whether or not a rich or a blue-blooded type likes me or not, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, is what I'm saying. I appreciate the work you put in for the coterie. I really do. That's why I'm apologizing about the infraction I placed upon you. But there's not much I can do to change this.
And I'm aware of that. What I'm saying is put a little bit more effort into at least putting up a mask, a veneer. You don't have to change who you are, as long as you're good at pretending. That's what our lives are about.
I'll think about it. He walks off.
I need a drink.
That werewolf blood is not gonna last long.
He basically about faces and leaves, and then a perfect about face, I would say. And then leaves, and after that, kind of sulks in his farm with his sire for however long. They go and do things as she wants, but gets the sense that he's a little down.
And she kind of guesses what it was. She figured you got chewed out.
Yeah.
You know, taking her to somebody else's haven. She knew better than that and let you do it anyway.
Yeah. But any other things that Blackjack will do as far as the rest of the group is I'll let them talk about it.
All right. But you increased your herd size, which really, just involved getting more cattle in.
More cattle. And then apparently this stock I put like $1 in 1972 is ballooning now. So something called Apple. I don't know.
Well,
it was just actually apples.
Looked at.
You checked it in the late '80s, early '90s. It wasn't doing so well, but yeah, whatever. Apparently, it's done a lot better since then.
Yeah, it's weird. So whatever. Money don't mean much to me anyway now, but I guess I have a lot of it.
So you go out and buy some new cows. I mean, what else do you do with it?
That's kind of what I do. I buy some cows.
Maybe you think about taking Sam's advice and buying a better car, but
so he would probably buy a slightly more modern car, but still use his truck for his day-to-day. He'd probably have like a Volkswagen Beetle.
Okay.
Just it's still relatively old.
Well, one of the classic ones or one of the ones they just stopped making?
One of the ones they just stopped making.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
within the decade, I guess.
Not high class necessarily, but it's that would be a bit more acceptable.
Yeah.
But keep the truck as your daily driver.
Yeah, it's my day-to-day.
Okay.
I've never found anything that can move a hay bale like a truck can.
The Brat Pack are gonna love seeing Blackjack hiding up in a.
It's like 6 foot, like driving like this.
Yeah.
No,
it's gonna be something.
Should have gotten a smart car.
Oh God, would have scraped the bottom.
What would he do with a smart car?
They're surprisingly roomy once you get in them.
Yeah.
As long as you're not carrying stuff with you.
Yeah, as long as it's just you in it.
Yeah, sure.
And you can park sideways in parking places. It's great.
But other than that, Blackjack was just to himself getting ready to start planting. His planting season has technically started at March 14th.
I don't know enough about planting.
We'll see.
If it hasn't come to if it isn't that time, I'm sure you're at least getting the garden plowed and stuff.
Getting the replow and everything, and it takes me a little longer to do my chores around the farm.
And Lynn hangs out with you for a few weeks, or for a couple weeks. Several nights, y'all are running around doing stuff. At some point, she will have met everybody in the coterie. Do you take her to the group haven?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Not getting yelled at again.
Do you
I'll
ever take
say
her by the Waffle House?
Well,
Do I
Jolene was
get
in
the sense-
uniform coming.
Oh, that's right.
Back from
That's
work.
right. You'd already met her, and yeah, you're right.
Do I get the sense for her humanity levels, having been around her and being her progeny?
You don't remember her really doing a bunch of really messed up stuff. You've gotten the impression from the way other people talk that maybe you come off as a little more human than some.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you figure she's at least on par with Samuel, as far as you can tell.
Then I wouldn't take her to Waffle House.
She was wearing the
Just-
uniform, so.
Yeah. Well, she knows at that point, but like it's one of those things where I'm not gonna take her somewhere where we can't both mutually enjoy something. I get the sense the waffles have long since died out for her.
Yes, you don't recall ever seeing her eat regular food.
Yeah.
But then, y'all hang out some nights. And then some nights she's just gone the whole night. You don't know what she's up to.
But every night I'm up and down on the farm
Okay.
in my truck.
Maeve, anything special you've done in the last month?
Well, besides now being able to shape into an animal.
Figured out how to do that. Now you and your dog run loose through the neighborhood
Basically,
until people call the
she
animal control.
she upgraded her haven. To slightly bigger.
So
Has a room now.
does that mean it's somewhere else, or does that mean you basically renovated the house up above the basement you were staying in, so you have both
Yeah.
areas now? Okay.
Both areas now.
All right. So as far as the neighbors are concerned, it's like you've just moved in.
Lights will be on like somebody's home at night, and not really, or off when she's working. Car will actually look like being, the garage is being used. And then she went to Blackjack so she can learn how to hit harder. So she has now a point in potence.
Ah.
And Blackjack's all too eager, happy to teach somebody. Mostly socialize with someone in the coterie. Now that after that,
I need a happier interaction with my people. Let's go punch one.
let's go punch it into somebody.
Let's go exchange punches.
Remember, it's all in what you fight for. That's what you bring it into the fist every time. Oh, I guess with you it'd be claw or something.
Yes. And that's about it.
Okay. At some point during the month, Colin shows back up. Just for a few nights. Yeah. And, all of you would remember that, the characters, not necessarily the players, that, when Colin appeared before the prince, it was that he was, searching for something on behalf of I don't think he used the term client, but I'm losing my words. A client.
Whoop.
That he was basically going to be, with the prince's permission, be using Huntsville as kind of his base of operations as he ventured out, searching for stuff. So, he'd been gone for a few weeks. He pops back up. Hangs around a few days, and then he's gone again. He doesn't tell you much about what went on. He's still healing up some injuries when he gets back. And you gather that he didn't have any luck, finding whatever it was he's looking for.
Yeah. Of course, she's going to remember the fact that he came over with injuries and had to heal up.
Well, he had said initially that what he was looking for, I mean, I think he even mentioned to the prince, was up to the north, which, is getting into the territory where the werewolves had come from, where Alexander was from. So it doesn't take a whole lot of investigative know-how to figure he may have run into a werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously not a pack because he came back, but...
But she wants to know, did you kill one?
Yeah, he has before, but that wasn't really the point of his trip that time. No, that was not the point of his trip.
Yeah.
Though he has heard rumor that Blackjack managed to take one out.
And that was about it for her mom. She just spent basically the entire time now making the house look lived in.
Okay.
And learning to hit harder.
Hiring some neighborhood kid to mow the yard. Don't knock on the door. Don't knock on the door during the day. I work at night. I'll just tape your check on the front window.
If you knock on the door, the dog's gonna bark and he'll never stop.
The dog will come through the door like the Kool-Aid Man.
Now you gotta train the dog.
Well, now I'm picturing the Kool-Aid Man that sounds like Scooby-Doo.
You gotta train the dog as you have to have him knock and train the dog to come out with the check in his mouth and just go back.
Unless she's right there with him, that dog does not react well to other people.
No, not at all.
Ghoul animals tend to be particularly vicious, except to their master.
Fair enough.
And he tolerates the rest of you when she's around. It's a dog. He understands pack.
Knock his ass out. Okay.
Oh, well, you probably could. I mean, yeah. It's not like he's a werewolf or nothing. He's just a dog.
Just turns around.
Just a bit stronger than a regular dog.
It's just Thor and Hulk, where Hulk is just like.
All right. Alexander.
Yeah.
What plans did Alexander have for the intervening month?
Well, due to him feeling like he failed at obfuscating or being more stealthy, he practiced stealth. So now he has a new bullshit tactic he can employ. So, fun times. If nothing else, at least it's an emergency. I need out now.
He gets better at running away since he got shot the last time he tried to run away.
It's like, damn it, I need to run away. They see me. I've been shot. Son of a bitch!
Now he carries Febreze in his holster so stuff can't smell him.
Bear mace.
Yeah, probably that would be a handy item.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like...
Kitty would not have liked that at all.
No, Kitty would be pissed. He did that. He upgraded his haven. He increased his his hidden arsenal. So, a few more pistols, a few more rifles, a little bit more ammunition. Increased his library a little bit. So, there's that.
Now, also, at some point during the month, you get a message from Grandmother Dorcas.
Ah, Grandmama, how is the woman?
Oh, she's doing quite well. Though there have been rumors going around since before you showed up, but for sure the whole time you've been here, that she's starting to hear the calling. That people every now and then catch her just kind of looking off to the east.
Bless her little knitted cotton socks.
But she calls you in for a meeting.
Okay.
Now, Alexander, dear, I know I'd asked you to keep an eye on young Samuel.
Of course.
Give me, some idea of what he might be up to.
Well,
I haven't really heard much back from you about that.
I do apologize, ma'am. been a pretty bit preoccupied at the moment. To be fair, it seems that he might be trying an experiment. Not quite sure. Not quite sure.
Well, he's Tremere. They're always going to be experimenting.
The problem is, ma'am, it's on werewolf blood.
You'll learn that Tremere like to investigate all sorts of strange and some would say unnatural things.
Of that I have no doubt. Yes. The problem is, I'm not quite sure what exactly his goals were. He seems to have some idea of blood magic, if not a little bit more of the occult. He might be trying to strengthen. I'm not quite sure yet. But if I can get a better idea of what he wishes to do, I will give you a full detailed report. As for now, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, and what happened down in Mooresville?
Yes,
the prince shared with us in the Primogen some of Samuel's report. But from your own point of view, what happened down there?
Either inexperienced or random circumstances caught me off guard, I hate to say, on that account, ma'am. For you see, I wasn't anticipating mortals having a pet cougar, as it were, to be roaming around with them at the time.
That was not in the report. Huh.
Yes, I would have done fine with my observation of the mortals. The downside was the cougar was not so blind to my presence.
Can you not command the animals?
Unfortunately, that is a bit of skill I need to take time and prepare better for. But the best of my animal instincts that I seem to have great use of is my ability to leap and to get away if possible. I plan on fixing that at some point. A little bit more time.
Well, I hate to put more on your shoulders.
No, it's quite all right. You did give me a place to call home, so I cannot.
Yes, I did.
I cannot disregard that.
And clearly, with the wolves having come down from the north, you couldn't have stayed where you were. So,
unfortunately,
this involves Alejandro, the Tremere Primogen. He has been acting, I think the term would be a little squirrely.
Afraid he's going mad, ma'am.
Well, not quite that squirrely. He's not Malkavian or anything. He's been particularly tense, though some of that may be the Hakim moving in. I'm sure that's put many of us older members of the city on edge. It'll take some getting used to the idea that Assamites can simply roam around with us.
Understood, ma'am. That would put anyone
some of our people have also spotted him leaving the city a few nights a week sometimes.
Oh, that's so.
Sometimes in the company of others that we have not yet identified. It might simply be mortals. It could simply be mortal contacts or servants of his.
Ghouls or kindred, perhaps?
It could be any of those. They come, they pick him up, they drive off. Attempts to follow them out of the city have been unsuccessful. It's quite hard to obfuscate an entire car, after all. Samuel may or may not know anything about this, but given your close contact with him, if you can get any information out of him about Alejandro or what Alejandro is currently involved in, I would just deeply appreciate it.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll keep my ear to the ground and see what I can drum up for you, ma'am.
Ah, thank you. She pats you on the side of the face. That's a good boy.
Yes. I thank you, ma'am.
I knew I wouldn't regret bringing you into the city.
Oh no. Loyalty is the one thing I try my best to uphold.
That's a good quality. It'll take you. That quality will take you far. So is there anything else Alexander wants to get into in that month? Or is that pretty much it? Expanding his haven, practicing his skills. And...
Yeah, he's practicing his skills, but now he knows that Mother Dorcas is curious why he hasn't tried the other skills yet, so it's like, maybe I should look into doing that.
Well, maybe she was just surprised you were a veterinarian. I almost said veterinarian, and didn't know how to speak to animals.
Well, being a vet in his previous life, he would have probably thought he could, but right now he probably was unaware. Like now that it was brought to his attention, it's like, that's probably something I could do. I might need to actually think about that. But for the most part, after just expanding his haven and working on, getting a few things bolstered up a little bit, he decides to use the sewers to his advantage and is able to kind of call himself a little herd in case he gets hungry next time. He don't have to go hunt down a bunch of juice boxes. He can just how do you say, beat the Pied Piper and just call a few over?
I'm just imagining you or him with a room full of like the aquariums with the plastic tubes connected to them that the mice can run around in, and referring to it as the pantry, or maybe the larder.
We can make this canon.
Both are fantastic.
I'm about to say both are fantastic. I'll take either.
If you're hungry, Jolene, just go into the pantry there and get you something.
The fuck, man. Close the door.
He feeds off animals too.
Close the door. Still, she's just like...
Look, it's like rats are like those little, Kool-Aids with the little twist-off top things.
It's like those little plastic barrels with the tin tops.
Mm-hmm. It's just like, look, if you're thirsty, I've got Capri Suns. They move, so you got to catch one, but it's okay. They're in a contained area.
It's really more satisfying when you put the work in.
Oh god, that would be bad. Just someone leaves the door open, and all of a sudden he comes back to his haven full of rats. Is like, well, I'm not going hungry tonight.
Whichever
I don't like
dump it
that.
back in the pantry, I'm eating.
All right, Samuel.
Yes.
What all did you have to do this month?
Well, Samuel mostly has been doing a whole lot of research. After chewing out Blackjack. He predominantly has been going through his old tomes and occult books about some of the old blood sorcery paths of magic. And believes he's getting close to at least reawakening a form of the Lure of Flames. And by close, I mean 2 more XP.
Now, at some point during this month, you've had at least your first meeting with Abla.
Yes.
Because I believe you'd gotten a text from her, something about meeting either at the end of the week or the next week or something.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all might have even fit two of those.
Yeah, he would be meeting with her. Not to try anything.
No, he's a gentleman.
Of course. Mostly just a kind of a meet and greet thing.
Get to know her a little better.
Yeah.
Some light conversation about, your respective skills, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to be as interested as you are in kind of comparing notes. Because each of you find you have a very or find that your clans have a very narrow view of the other.
Mm.
You know, there's a lot of bad blood, a lot of history has gone down between them.
Yep.
You know, some of the things that she knows historically don't necessarily match up with what you've been told. Like, I know for quite some time the Tremere were big on saying they had invented blood sorcery. But the Hakim have been doing it for an awfully long time.
Yep.
And the Zemitzi are known for their Kaldor. Yeah, I can't even say the word. They have their own form of sorcery, and
yeah,
there's some rumors of the La Sombra having theirs. It's, you know, it's not even to mention the Setites, and she practically spits at their mention.
Yep.
At some point during this month, you would also have had a meeting with Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What was it exactly you were wanting out of Walker?
Basically, his magic.
Okay. So he comes in with tomes. In a lot of ways, it's very much like having a conversation with another Tremere.
Mm.
Most of the rituals he does, however, from an outsider's point of view, would not be as disturbing as some of what the Tremere do.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, well, I need to eat one of this guy's eyes and part of his tongue for this spell to, you know, to be able to read and speak the languages he does, or, you know, some of the kind of gross stuff. None of it involves blood, as far as a regular component. You know, where the Tremere use blood in everything. Now, his Alexander observed, his wards do involve some.
Mm-hmm.
You know, animal blood had to be something local to wherever you're putting the ward.
Yeah.
So, you know, he couldn't breed rats at his house like Alexander and then carry them somewhere and use them.
Yeah, like he was specifically interested in that detection ward that he used around Mooresville. If there'd be a way for him, that's fine. If there'd be a way for him to replicate that.
There might be. I mean, obviously, it takes a lot of study to learn rituals.
Yeah. And
generally speaking, you get the impression that a lot of the stuff he does is probably not actually as powerful as what the Tremere can do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have heard of powerful magi that can, for lack of a better way to put it, just sort of grab reality by the cojones and make it do what they want.
Yeah. Give it a firm shake.
Walker, while very knowledgeable, seems to be more of a hedge wizard.
Yeah.
It's actually not uncommon for Tremere to recruit magicians of his sort. Because it gets them used to that type of study.
Yeah.
Now, many times when they make the change, well, you're not sure if the gifts, if what they've learned doesn't translate over, or if it's just that thaumaturgy offers a more powerful alternative. So the students stop focusing. Given time, you think you could probably learn his ward, though.
Yeah, and probably after a few meetings, Samuel would bring up that, well, he'll say, well, so I notice you are more of a hedge wizard type, as opposed to some of the more, shall we say, reality-breaking mages I've seen.
Oh, the ones that call themselves, the ones that claim to do true magic?
Yes.
Yeah, I have encountered those sorts of individuals before. I don't know how much truer their magic is than what we do, but it's certainly something powerful, though also unpredictable and dangerous.
Of course, paradoxes being what they are, you do want to avoid them. So, I have an offer for you. Since we've had a few meetings now, and you've proven at least you can be trusted to hold up your end of the deal as I have mine.
You've been a lot more reasonable than I was expecting one of your persuasion to be.
My primary goal, as I've said to others, is and always will be the furthering and compilation of knowledge. I was a scholar when I lived. I am a scholar now. My offer is this. As someone of somewhat similar persuasion, I can offer you a portion of my blood. Your life would become tied to mine, but you will have all the time that you would wish to further your studies. Provided, of course, you remained tied to my blood. The offer can be rescinded at any time, in which case the accumulated years will catch up to you.
I've heard of such things being done. My understanding is you give a portion of your free will that it's addictive, not unlike a narcotic.
It can be.
I don't mean any offense, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to turn you down. I'd rather have a shorter life but live free than have my soul shackled to someone. You seem a reasonable sort for a vampire, but I just don't know you that well yet.
No, of course. The primary reason I offered was so you are aware that the offer is there.
I will keep it in mind.
Besides, I don't call on others often. So it would not be terribly often that I would be demanding your attention, as it were. Since you phrased it that way in your rejection.
Well, like I said, I'll keep it in mind. But at the moment, our deal of this, exchange of, I guess you could say services, you watch after my family, I teach you what I know of my kind of magic, I think that's enough of a relationship right now.
Of course.
Where do you meet Walker at?
He would probably take Walker to an Elysium. Maybe. No. Bad idea. No, he'd probably
I think it's a great idea.
No, shush.
Of course you do.
Back table at the Waffle House.
No. There's this one little park area behind the theater in the domain. Like behind Valley Bend, the lake area. Out there
Yes,
with the
over
trail.
this. Over, yeah, yes. I think I know what you're talking
Yeah, he'd probably meet out there.
about. Okay.
Still within the domain,
Mm-hmm.
but looking like two folks just out on a stroll or something.
Yeah, for
while they're
Chaz
talking.
now, when you were sitting down having to use, when you were sitting down exchange, with books open, talking about,
Yeah.
getting deep into the magic and the lores.
Right.
You need, office space somewhere, reserve a room at the library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd reserve a room somewhere that was quote unquote public, but not within vampiric dominion, so to speak.
I'm trying to think of who would probably have control of the library in Huntsville. I don't think it would be an Elysium per se.
Actually, there's one other idea. Is he could say Samuel is kind of the physician for his family, like family doctor, so to speak. So he could be having meetings with the family, sort of like in his office at the hospital.
It's true. You could use an office at the hospital.
Yeah, and it would be pretty believable, him being a doctor.
Why does that guy always show up with a backpack full of books, though?
Well, be a backpack.
Well, that's true. But anyway, so you can definitely find places to meet him.
Yeah.
Jolene, what are you up to for this month?
I've made like a list so I don't forget this stuff. Let's see. Number 1. Nose to the book in alchemy. Find someone to kind of mentor in it, and then probably ask politely every now and then to like either borrow like a table at Samuel's and be like, can you look at these notes and see if this makes any damn sense?
At no point
Can I
does
bounce
it
some
even make
ideas
sense.
off? No, it doesn't.
Now, one thing I will say is Jolene still has free reign to visit.
She would still ask because she doesn't know the schedule.
Yeah, and he would like come and pick her up and then take her there.
No, she got a car finally.
Yeah, she got a car now.
Yeah, she did, but he's still doing it.
Okay.
He's seen what car it is. That's why.
It's an 86 Honda Accord, okay?
Oh, he decided not to go with the Pinto?
Decided not to go with the Pinto.
Oh. Look, they don't burst into flame as much as people say.
He's still coming to pick her up.
The body's in good condition. It doesn't make a lot of noise. It's not painted obnoxiously yet.
It's old, but it's not as rough looking as, say, Blackjack's truck.
Yes. It's got personality. And probably fuzzy ducks.
But is it as loud as Jolene?
No.
Oh, it needs like a little plush bat hanging from the window. Hide in plain sight.
That'd be awesome. Now she has like a bat beanie baby like on the dashboard. Once she gets like maybe like 1 or 2 of the thin blood specific formulas learned, she would go to one of the Elysiums and leave a note addressed to the prince in her best handwriting on the nicest damn paper she could buy, that she had researched the subject he had asked her to, and that if he wished to learn further, that she is at his disposal.
Okay. Within the month, you have not heard back from him on that.
Okay. She'll be panicking about that the whole month then.
But yeah, you had no trouble finding. As soon as you mentioned you had an interest in thin blood alchemy, you had 3 or 4 of the thin blood stay in your domain volunteer. Only one of them had any real experience with it. The rest of them are just dabblers that are just getting started.
She does do the Fixato one where it's cauldron based versus based in either herself or another body.
Okay. And it's not that he sits down necessarily and teaches you his style of doing it. It's more of this is how you approach it. Everybody develops their own style.
Yeah.
Here's a few kind of baseline styles. Let's see. Eddie comes and goes. Eddie does not stay in the domain.
Yeah, she would ask him about if they'd heard anything about Anna.
They have not, though over the course of the month, 2 more Thin Bloods have gone missing.
Okay. Names or just two random Thin Bloods?
Just put down 2 random Thin Bloods at this point.
Okay.
I guess if y'all start to really investigate, I'll have to come up with names.
Question, did they disappear during the time that Lynn was there? Or no?
One of them did.
Okay.
It's basically one of them disappeared kind of up early in the month, which was when Lynn was still there. And then one of them kind of, basically the week before we're starting back up.
Okay.
And Lynn had slipped back out of town by that point.
Yeah.
At least as far as you know.
That's not reassuring at all. 2 of the potions she does learn are both to punch better, which at one point she will call it Blackjack and be like, hey, want to see what I've learned? And chug the potions right before she gets there.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be honored to know what you've learned.
It's extremely out of the tone of vampire, but I'm just picturing the little jars from the old Gummy Bears cartoon.
And she's probably got, the way I'm picturing, because she can only carry, so many at a time. It's based off, wits. She's got, a little wooden box and, a sling backpack that she wears that's padded on the interior, but she can only fit, 3 of the vials in there. It's probably just, test tube style vials.
Bandolier of potion bottles.
Backpack of potion bottles.
My alchemist had that in Cursed Stride.
It's the easiest way to transport it without looking too goofy.
Yeah, it's true.
Sarah, is this what you're
Blackjack's
about to use that brutal critical for?
It might be.
What you got?
She's gonna haul off and punch him, and I'm redeeming that brutal critical I got.
Okay.
And you said I could use it for my first Thin Blood thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I gotta add some dice to that, because... No, I don't, because I accounted for it being a level 3, so I would have had to have prowess. So that was a brutal critical. I scroll back up with 4 successes to punch Blackjack.
All right, and what does the potion do exactly? Does it basically give you potence, or...?
It gives me prowess and lethal body.
Ooh.
So you do some aggravated damage to him. Blackjack, give me
yes. Yes.
I guess it would be... Now, is this a sparring match, or is just Blackjack standing there taking a lick?
I'm about to take a lick, I guess.
I'm expecting Tiny Jolene just to haul off and deck him.
All right, what kind of fortitude does old Blackjack have?
I have Fortitude 3, which I took Defy Bane.
It's Tiny Jolene. She can't do
This is
any
a pain,
damage.
unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately, this is not a Bane, so that part doesn't help you.
It's
fist
just the
damage.
name of it, because it just says it says the vampire can downgrade aggravated damage into superficial.
Okay.
She breaks his nose.
I don't know if it's a rouse check or not. She breaks his nose. Just
So what was that thing called again? Defy Bane?
Defy Bane. Uh-huh. It is a rouse check. And then it's... Let's see. The user can convert a number of aggravated damage equal to their fortitude rating to superficial damage when sustained.
And what is your fortitude rating?
3. So I guess I still take 1 aggravated.
So yeah, you take 1 aggravated and the rest is superficial.
Okay.
So
Which is
by
fine.
the time we get back to here,
I'm good.
or by the time we really start up, you've had plenty of time to heal it. But it definitely catches you off guard.
She might fist punch the air. The potions worked!
That's potions.
Pulls out, like, she can only carry 3 at a time, so, like, she pulls out the last one, which is probably a haze potion.
That fucking hurt, and that don't happen to me very often.
Mhm.
Whatever you're doing, keep it up.
It's the potion of one punch.
Oh man,
One punch potion.
seems like you got a good licking. Ah.
I would just imagine people are just sitting there going, "Oh, it's just how you do it." She just goes, "All right, hold on." Just downs 2 things, just like cracks
Yes,
knuckles, rears back, and suddenly everything goes black. It's this giant fist. Just
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. And just, like, flicks the air.
Pulls the tsunami from Naruto, just flicks them. They go flying.
I'm thinking Team Rocket from Pokemon.
Well, too.
You can have 2 potions. Basically, there's, like, some things that it's, like, specifically kind of... I mean, all y'all got kind of things special to your clan. And there's, like, a couple that are special to Thin Blood Alchemy, but we can kind of dip into stuff that, you know...
That definitely felt like something I've hit a werewolf with.
Exactly.
Means the next werewolf is Jolene's.
You're like, chug this and go, chug this and go.
Congrats, you can probably fight a werewolf now.
I'm not gonna try and do that.
Would your
Really
potion work if another kindred drank it?
I don't think so, because it's made out of the alchemist's blood, so I'm guessing it has to have some kind of reaction with the alchemist.
Oh, very possible.
I'm guessing that's why it's Thin Blood exclusive.
Mm.
There is one in level 3 where the Thin Blood makes kind of an elixir out of their blood to add to bagged medical blood to make it palatable, even for those without Iron Gullet. But otherwise, I think it's just for the alchemist.
Okay. Or possibly just for Thin Blood. Maybe another Thin Blood could drink it.
Yeah, I didn't see any...
We can research and find out later.
Yeah. And then last thing she would do, probably towards the end of the time skip, she would have ordered some kind of night blooming flower off of the internet and gone over to Samuel's and knocked on the door.
Yes.
It's me.
All right. We'll open the door, let her in.
You want to set off the rules. Here's this question and some other stuff. Here's this.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna say a lot of words and they might string together weird, but just bear with me here. Got me thinking, everybody's sire showing up in town. Yeah, Blackjack's sire. Would we have heard that Colin was back in town?
Do what now?
Would we have heard that Colin had come back in town?
Oh, quite possibly.
Even if he'd been in town before. And I mean, Colin's been back in town, and it's better if I'm not surprised by things. And if there's one thing I don't want to be surprised by, is someone coming up and being like, hey, I'm your sire. So, what I'm trying to get at here is, you know that thing you did for the one guy, Lee, and found out who his sire was?
Yes.
What kind of favors would I have to do, aside from giving you this mighty fine plant? You know, you gotta breathe to smell it when it blooms, but, I mean, just remember to do that. What kind of favors would I have to do for you to do that? So I at least know the name of this bastard. I mean, pretty much, you know, between you and me, even though you ain't the one that bit me, you're pretty much my sire. I mean, kind of showed me the ropes of all this stuff, and, you know, Made me not act like a fool at Elysium, and like some people we won't name. It's probably gotten through the like grapevine that Blackjack got in trouble.
You punched him, didn't you?
I mean, maybe. It wasn't because of you. I mean, I just wanted to see if that shit worked. And I have a feeling punching you wouldn't have been good. I'm not gonna go punch Alexander.
Turns into dust.
Well, as with all things, there is a cost. Come.
Yeah, okay.
He'll walk into. He'll get the silver glass that is kind of hidden in the back, with a few other silver glasses just to blend in.
Mm-hmm.
But this one has a very, very faint Tremere marking on it, so he knows which one it is. So he'll grab it, hold it out, and said, "You need to bleed into this."
At least I did this after I've been doing alchemy for a while, and just kind of pulls out probably a knife that she keeps handy
It's
in her bag.
pretty standard practice in the alchemy stuff.
Make a rouse check.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sizable glass then.
Well, yeah.
The ritual takes one rouse checks. I can English. One rouse checks worth of blood.
A mug.
Yeah, basically.
Bleed it into this wine bottle.
More or less.
Why did you need that much? Oh, because I'm thirsty.
I
Oh,
wouldn't actually
God.
put that past Samuel. Like, oh no, I'm being cheeky. You only have to give me a small
It's a
thimble worth.
thimbleful, but you know.
The
Payment
rest is for my own.
It's like V's giant ass mug on Monday.
That's kind of what I was thinking of. Just
Yeah.
1 second.
That's just his mug. He just uses that.
Don't know if my headset's dying on me or what. The battery
Just put
didn't
a
always
rouse check
last.
worth of blood into here, and then now we go back here and actually do like what we need to do for it, and just sipping from
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So now I make a roll.
Oh, pretty good.
9 dice, only 3 successes.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't look at how many dice. I just saw 3 successes. Well, that's decent, but okay.
Yeah, no. 9 dice, 3 successes. So what I get from this is, after I bleed into it a little bit, after an hour, I know the generation and name of Jolene and her sire.
All right, Jolene's name is Jolene.
Yes. I also
What's Jolene's middle name?
know...
I don't think she. No, she doesn't have a middle name. Just Julian Hatcher.
How odd.
Let's see, I also know whether she's mortal, ghoul, vampire, or other supernatural creature. I know her vampire. I know her blood potency and the likely generation.
Well, you know the generation within a notch or two. I think it can
Yeah.
go, like, kind of go, the generation or one up or one down.
Yeah. And this information is also stuff I know about the sire. Because the blood walk ritual expands on the taste for blood. Sorcery power.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Honestly, I'm tempted to re-roll some of those to see if I can get a critical success, because I can learn a lot more
Do it.
for that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Because it'll have been before we get back to the actual end of time.
Damn.
Just a little bit of a y'all eating there.
Ah, well, 4 successes. See, because if I got another 10, I would have learned a lot more.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you can always re-roll.
I already did.
Was 4
Yeah.
enough to bump you up to anything extra? Or?
No,
Okay.
not really. It's basically do like I wrote it down in the name when I put it down. Is basically, do I pass the difficulty of 2? Yes, then bam.
All right. You get the impression that Jolene is somewhere between 15th generation and 17th generation. Which, as far as you know, 17th doesn't actually exist, so you're not sure to take that.
Yeah.
But there's a margin of error.
Yeah.
You get her name and that she's a vampire. All the stuff you already know about her.
Yep.
If Samuel had any doubts that she didn't actually have a middle name, that maybe she was just hiding an embarrassing one, no, she actually doesn't have one.
It's not Aloysius.
Oh no, that's her first name.
Middle name is Fifi.
Oh, no.
Ooh, wouldn't it be funny though? He found out she had a middle name and she just didn't know about it.
Okay, you know what? If you guys want to do it as canon, I'll go for it.
Her mother gave her one. She never wrote it down on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
No, that's not necessary.
What's Jolene's last name?
Fifi Hatcher.
Hatcher. Jolene Fifi Hatcher.
I don't know why I find that amusing, but that's actually fun. Oh, dry humor.
Somehow they'll just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, she's a dark siren of the night. What's her name? Fifi.
I just picture like a small, fluffy, like white dog with a pink bow now.
And then it spouts the vampiric fangs. Wasn't that in Blade 3?
It's actually a werewolf.
Wasn't there something like that in Blade 3?
That's where I got it from.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that was a bad movie, but I like that scene.
Yeah.
All right. As for her sire,
Mm-hmm.
You get the impression. I don't know why I'm rolling so since I was giving you the full range. That he is probably between 13th and 15th generation.
Mm. So close to Thin Blood.
Well, 13th is really the last generation that's reliably a full vampire.
Yeah.
There's rumor of some 14 generations that still come out full.
See, I do learn his name too.
Oh yes. Sarah, do you have a name for her sire, or do you want me to come up with one?
I said unknown sire, so I will let you come up with one.
Alright, what would be a good name? I don't want it to be a local boy or not.
It is a gang boy. So.
Wheel of morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson we should have learned.
That we know of so far, the only gang rules in Huntsville is the Prince.
Well, Sarah has
They-
decided it's a gang rule. What has Jolene convinced it's a gang rule?
Because she has the curse,
She does have the
The
Gangrel clan
Bane.
curse. Yeah.
Yeah.
the steel temper.
Oh, okay.
It's like if
If you
It's
frenzy,
like
you get an
barriers.
animal feature for a little while.
yeah.
It's not permanent like it used to be, though.
My
amazing.
God, she's going mad.
She's got cat ears.
Oh, how
My
cool.
God.
Yeah.
She should
got a
frenzy
full
more
neck.
often.
Oh, she was going so good, and then she got the rat snout. Yeah.
There's another game I played with the storyteller literally trolled the Gangrel that every time her character frenzied, she just turned more and more into a cat girl.
Oh, God.
Like tail, ears, like whiskers.
Could be worse. You could be like some of the city gangrel and Sabat, where you start spouting insect features.
Yeah.
Oh God, that'd
Oh,
be terrifying.
That would be
Just get those
terrifying.
fucking mandibles just.
There's not much about the Sabbat that isn't terrifying.
Yeah, it's true.
All
Especially
right.
the Zemetzi.
Well, except that they're kind of open about being monsters.
Well, they are, yeah. But they're still terrifying.
They're still monsters.
Let's see.
What would be
My
funny?
The better question is,
Let's see, my brain's still going, what would it... Wouldn't it be funny if it was Colin?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, but not because
I
Maeve
seriously.
is
Oh, good.
12th.
Yeah, I seriously thought about doing something like that.
It'd be funny.
Oh.
But the trick
God.
is she's thin blood, so that really limits,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how far back
the
she
limits
is.
what he can
It can
do.
be the prince or Colin, so.
Or could it?
Oh, man. Secret's out, the prince is actually a 13th gen gangrel.
But we're positive he predates the Civil War. What's going on here?
Yeah.
He just had there was just a really long list of bite, and then he just ended up being the 13th one,
Yeah.
predating that far back. It could happen.
So you get the name Christopher Blakely.
Okay. Putting sire in quotations.
So as far as Samuel would be concerned from the information he's picked up, this Christopher Blakely might be a member of Clan Gangrel, or he might be a thin blood, coming down from Clan Gangrel like Jolene, of course. But,
Not a name she recognizes.
No.
Would it be a name Maeve recognizes?
No, in all likelihood, no. Now, you don't get like a mental image of the man or anything like that, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I could take that knowledge and invoke a premonition.
And premonitions, they can be of the past or the future, right?
Yep. But I know about him now, so I do have enough to invoke one. If I make the rouse check for it.
All right, give me that check.
Okay. What the heck is with all the... Hold on. Is everybody else getting all these texts from toll free? Like, we're counting on you to yada yada yada. I keep getting texts about like politics stuff, like donate now.
I don't have my phone.
I
with me,
get
but I have
emails, but it
Okay.
all goes to spam.
Yeah.
God bless spam filters.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Look, I'm still trying to figure out how to get a good one on my phone just to stop this one random guy from calling all the time. He doesn't call for me. He calls for Rap. He calls for her all the time. It's like, hey, is Natasha there? It's like, no, she's not. Goodbye. Click. He tries to stop me every time.
Okay.
It's like,
I figured if this was during the month, he'd have enough time to regain the willpower he's
yeah,
expending
yeah.
for this.
Brava.
You get a flash, and it's a series of flashes. You don't get a whole lot of information from any one scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a few seconds here. You see a guy repeatedly going into the Waffle House.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the flash is him walking up to the store, or him, or restaurant, I should say, or him in there eating. Jolene is in every shot. Now, this is I'm making the assumption that Jolene worked at the Waffle House before she got turned.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's worked it like the past 5-6 years.
Okay.
So it would have probably been like early in her work in there.
Mm-hmm. Some of these flashes are during the day. Some of them are at night.
Then it's definitely a thin blood.
Big pardon?
Then it's definitely a thin blood if it's during the day.
Mm-hmm.
That is a assumption you can make.
I mean, it'd have to be.
Unless you believe in Golconda.
True.
Though the Camaria's official statement is that it's just a myth. And you can't trust them, who can you trust? The last few flashes, or some of the later flashes, are more at night. And he's not going into the restaurant. He's just kind of outside looking through the windows. Then you get some flashes that show him. You get the impression of following Jolene home. And then you get one flash that is clearly the actual attack on her.
Yeah.
It slows down at that point, and you actually start seeing, or feeling kind of his panic. You get the impression of it being a feeding gone wrong sort of thing.
Yeah.
He fed too deeply. He took too much. And you see him, bite his own wrist and put it to her mouth. And then just sort of drag her to the side and leave her, in the bushes.
Okay. In that image where he was standing looking into the windows, was there any kind of reflection that had a physical description of the guy?
You think it was kind of light colored hair. Maybe blonde, maybe just kind of a light brown or dirty dishwater kind of blonde. Because it's not like a mirror quality reflection or something.
Yeah.
You couldn't really tell how tall he was. It had kind of a, that kind of scruffy, manly stubble that was popular for a while. Not like a full beard. Probably a decent looking guy, clothes look typical middle class kind of stuff, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You would probably recognize him if you saw him again.
Yeah. In any of those visions, did Jolene interact with him directly, or was he just watching her from a distance?
Some of the ones where he was in the restaurant eating, she was bringing him his food or taking an order or...
Right.
Creepy stalker.
Yeah, basically.
It seems like it kind of went that way.
Vampire.
Now you could possibly find him.
That's true. Yeah, his eyes come back
thin-
to normal.
Possible thin blood, why not?
But
Well,
yeah,
that
the
was-
vision stops after the attack.
Yeah. That was illuminating.
I'm gonna take that word. You just kind of did that. It was kind of.
Oh, yes. So he's someone you've met before.
Oh, really?
Not anyone that you were aware of. This was before your turning. You've served him food quite a few times.
Serve a lot of people food. It's
Yes,
my job.
I know it is. But he'd been stalking you for a while.
Well, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. It went from him eating at the Waffle House all the time to just standing outside and watching through the windows.
Even that's creepy.
Sometimes during the day.
What was he eating? He was like actually eating the food, or
Mm-hmm.
so he's either.
He was obsessed. Every single vision that I received had you in it, in some form. And there was many of them.
No, at least I know now.
Oh, yes. Well, if we do end up running into him out there somewhere, I'd be able to recognize him easily. Name is Christopher Blakely, if that means anything to you.
I don't recognize it, but if he was out during the day, maybe Eddie knows him.
It's possible.
Putting in or out.
Plot twist, he's the one teaching her thin blood alchemy.
God, no! No!
He's the one sleeping on her couch. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
He's in the house with you.
Steak.
The curse came from in the house with you.
Oh god.
Yep.
Look,
I
I've been
feel like I
finding.
gotta sleep at the antique store now while someone burns down the house.
Look, ever since you uttered he watched you through the glass one night, all I can hear in my head is "I'm looking at you through the glass," and that song has been going. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh, I could have made her sire Bree. Oh.
That just would have been cruel. Bree's awesome. Bree wasn't from around there.
Moulton's not
That's
that far
true.
away.
Still.
But-
Let's see, 45 minutes from here to Huntsville. 30 minutes from here to Moulton.
Mm-hmm.
So Moulton,
It's just a
Huntsville.
short
Moulton,
jolt. You'll be alright.
Huntsville probably about an hour. She could easily drive up there, stalk Jolene, and come home in a night.
We just pop out for a nice stalking and feeding gone wrong and hop right back home.
Hop out for a nice stalking. Okay.
Look, everybody has hobbies.
Uh-huh.
Not the creepiest thing that's going on in this game.
Mm-mm.
You're not wrong, unfortunately.
I don't know, stalking's
Now.
still kind of on up there.
Now she can finally stop being mad at Maeve. Maeve don't know thin bloods.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only thin blood she knows.
You would have met a few of the Thin Bloods in the course of the Chronicle so far.
Yeah, we met Eddie, so and a couple of things.
Probably only in passing.
During
Though.
the cleanup.
Yeah, in passing.
And they could have maybe not been thin blood at the time, or vampire at the time when they were eating during the day.
You know.
So they could have been like recently turned and fucked it up.
Just small minor problems.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Alistair's probably seen everybody. They just haven't seen him.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, well, guess I'll just see anyone with that name come on by. I'll just, well, hope it's during the evening, first off, and put a bit of a message out or something. Take the guy out back, murder him, I don't know.
She'll be closely checking every credit card customers give her now. He's got kind of blondish light hair. What's the name on his credit card?
Oh, I'm imagining like she just kind of glances at it to like make sure the ID matches on. Okay. She'll remember the names.
Just message Eddie. I'm looking for this person.
Oh yeah, no, she's gonna message Eddie at some point. Be like, hey, do you know Christopher Blakely?
That's a good idea because he really does try to keep up with the Thin Bloods closely. Of course, to be fair though, he didn't come to town till after you turned.
Fair.
It was after your embrace and, hey, they're letting us live in Huntsville now. Mostly. I mean, technically you are still not accepted members of the Camarilla. In many ways.
But they're not hunting us for sport.
Right. You're kind of recognized because you're part of a coterie. But the rest of them are not necessarily... The rest of them couldn't just show up in Elysium and be safe because of the laws of Elysium. Even Jolene, it's kind of in the air how that works. Right now, your coterie is kind of in favor of the prince, so nobody's going to piss him off by jumping you. As much as Jeanette might want to.
You just wait after tonight.
And coming into your domain and doing that, even if the prince was going to let it slide, that would still be poaching at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
The coterie has rights to destroy them. Destroy them all.
Poaching at the very least, incineration is the punishment.
Or being staked out for the sun, or beheaded, or,
Various number of things.
Yeah.
All manner of stuff, yeah.
Those other ones aren't cathartic enough.
Yeah, you're kidding.
I mean, or we can do like Vampire Diaries and just rip the heart out.
Finish him.
Finish him.
I mean, to be fair, if we do behead anybody, just give me the body. My rats are hungry.
So I'm sitting here going, just someone pulls out the horse like, finish him. Yum.
Nom.
Just, nope. It's like, wait. Not what I meant, but alright.
It's a fruit gusher.
God dang it.
Oh,
But is it cherry or fruit punch?
strawberry.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, she'll just kind of be like, now, what do I owe you? Because I know how this works. I know favor for a favor. Don't move.
In this case, it technically cost me nothing but an hour of time. He sort of gestures to the plant. Find me some more of these.
I mean, you're gonna eventually have to put that sucker out back, like once it gets a little warm.
Well, that's the plan.
I'm your gardener now.
But I'll be planting them myself.
Now that I want to see.
A deal then.
Okay. If you're gonna be doing gardener stuff, as payment, I'll buy you more plants. Maybe a little fancy gardening apron, a sun hat.
Jolene,
Mm-hmm.
you know a hat would do nothing.
Not with that attitude. Who said you were gonna be wearing it during the day?
But then what's the point?
What's the point of the flowers?
Just go home.
All right, Dad. Have a good evening.
Having a bonding moment, she just ruins it.
That's her, though. She is the insolent teenager.
I say as she leaves, have a safe trip home, child.
Doesn't flip him off as she leaves that time. Does give the full fingered wave.
Alright, so that gets us through what everybody has done the prior month. Wow, that took 2 hours. I had meant to spend about an hour on that, but you know.
You know how
Things
we get.
happen.
Sock puppet,
Anyway, you know.
muted.
No plan survives contact with the players.
First off, Josh, shush you.
Look, all I did was watch the simple fact I saw your mouth move, you were excited, but I couldn't hear it, so I was like, he wants to say something. Unfortunately, I can't hear a damn thing.
Alright, so
Break it up, children.
March 14th rolls around. Everybody wakes up. We won't worry about the rouse checks. We'll just assume that you're at whatever you're at.
Yeah, okay, good.
I mean, Jolene did fine, so it's okay.
Oh, I see where you. So, what business is the coterie want to be into? You've got a few things going on.
See, me looking at the weather for March, it's already warm enough to plant that thing.
It is.
March 14th, nighttime, it was 66.
Oh, dang.
Well,
yeah,
last
Blackjack
winter
is-
was a pretty mild winter around here, so.
I mean,
Yeah.
granted, there was a cold snap the next week that was in like the 30s, but
Well, don't you plant that thing until the end of March.
But you want it planted by April because April showers bring May flowers. May flowers bring pilgrims.
is that how he got the werewolf ally?
Did you take that?
I am seriously thinking about it.
Okay, but you don't have it.
After-
You don't have it yet. Okay.
No,
we will
because
do that when it comes up.
it'll cost me 12 XP to do. I have 18. I need 20 to get rank 4 in blood sorcery.
So you're
So-
prioritizing.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah, he's highly prioritizing.
so after tonight, it would be 4 weeks.
That sounds about right. I'd have
Before I
to
can
see
get
the
it.
math, but it sounds about right.
I mean, unless you give us bonus XP for like ending a chapter or whatever, then it'd be less. But
But anyway,
The
back to this.
storyteller's discretion.
yep.
So anyway, there's a few things going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how much effort is Jolene wanting to put into tracking down her sire? Blanking on the
Should
terms.
have mentioned it to Eddie. If if anyone might know that name.
He tells you off the top of his head. He does not recognize it. He'll put out a few feelers.
But she's like, with everything going on with folks coming up missing, it's not anywhere near the top of the list. Just if you happen to recognize the name or someone recognizes the name, just let me know.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Blackjack's doing what he normally does until he gets notified of something.
Sure.
I feel like he hasn't really spoken to anyone besides getting decked by Jolene.
She would have taken him out for waffles too, because she owed him that from the werewolf fight.
Okay.
She had said,
Okay.
I will take you out for waffles once this is all over.
So, yeah, we would have gotten waffles at some point. But
What is Jolene's buddy's name again?
Linda? The waitress?
Yes,
Linda?
yes. Slightly older lady.
Yeah.
She is delighted to serve the two of you waffles.
Wow,
Linda just
yo.
looked the whole time like,
you're extremely kind.
Oh well, I'm pretty fond of old Jolene here, so any friend of hers, and she goes into, oh, where are you from? Oh, local boy, Oh, you own a farm. Nice. That sounds like steady work. Got eyes, Julie.
I love you to death.
He,
but it's
he is
almost kind of.
oblivious to all of this.
At some
She's
point, at least,
probably
she kind of squeezes a by step. Muscly.
Yeah, I can deck
yeah,
you.
Hard work and all that. Why'd you touch me like that? That's kind of weird.
She stops looking at Linda and then just looks at Blackjack like, "Are you really this dense?"
I don't understand. I work
You
at
know
farm.
what? That's
I'm a
fine.
very
That's
good friend of.
We're gonna keep it at you not knowing what the hell's going on.
Okay. Eats waffle. Throws it up
gives
like
like-
2 hours later. But after that, like during the day, during this evening, Blackjack is working on his farm and just doing his normal rounds around until somebody calls him for something.
Okay.
Still hasn't really talked to anyone besides the one time he talked to Maeve, going out for waffles with Jolene, and hasn't really talked to anybody else.
Okay.
Getting yelled at by family.
Well, I would assume y'all probably have at least some kind of semi-regular meetings at the antique shop. What did y'all
Yeah.
like naming that? I know we discussed the name last time.
Primrose Antiques. Jillian probably has gotten like actual primroses and like little planters out front at some point.
Seems like I would have written that down somewhere.
I did.
I think we put it in the chat.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Let's see. Alistair would send a little quick text to Samuel.
Alistair? You mean Alexander?
Oh yeah, Alexander. Excuse me. Sorry.
I hope I haven't had your name wrong in your window
No.
this whole time.
No, you're fine. It's Alexander. He would send a text over to Samuel, and it'd just be a quick one like, "Hey, are you busy? I just wanna come over, maybe have a nice little chat, cup of tea, or whatever beverage you prefer." If you're busy, I understand.
Yeah, he'll say he's busy managing the books at the store if he wants to come by.
Ah, perfect. I'll be on my way.
Basically, meet me at the Haven.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. He understood exactly what you meant. He's like, "Ah, goody, I get to stay completely underground the whole travel." Just pops up and hops through the back door.
I'm sure you could get you a car with tinted windows.
Yeah, however, to get the tent he probably needs, I can bet you Huntsville police will stop him a lot.
Rubber mask.
This would be even more awkward.
We discussed this. Rubber mask like the old Ninja Turtle cartoon.
Ah, yes, because wearing the mask like Master Splinter will work out wonderfully. Sir, you do understand you have illegally tinted windows, and why are you wearing a mask? Don't worry about it. I'll pay the fine. Don't worry, I'm good. I'm covered.
Once we get into 2020, they'd be pulling you over for not wearing a mask.
You're right.
As well, they should.
God, you gotta love our day and age. Anyway.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, he'll pop up and go ahead and try to find Samuel. Probably actually sitting behind somewhere doing the books.
Yeah.
You get to you get to the Primrose without any trouble. Nobody in the back alley. You're up. You're through the back door. Key, punch code, whatever it is y'all do.
Yeah, probably combo both.
A lot.
Sometime in the
Code.
month, Bree has installed a bell on the back door, so anytime it opens, there's a slight ding ding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not really loud. It's not as loud and noticeable as the front door.
Yeah, I'm sure the front
it's-
door has a much more audible bell.
But it has a, you know, it's enough that if she's behind the counter, she will hear.
And at least know, oh, he's here.
You are the one that tends to come through the back door.
Yep.
Probably because it's for my own safety and benefit.
And you know, she leans but kind of glances at the back door to see that it's you and kind of gives a wave.
He waves back.
She is actually dealing with a customer. They don't seem to be buying anything, but they're perusing and asking questions about everything.
Ah, yes, my favorite kind of customer. You gonna buy anything? No, I just want to look at all your wares. All right.
I think you get a lot of that in people go out antiquing. And don't actually buy very many antiques.
Sir, I work at a grocery store. I put it with people just looking at food and like, do I want to eat something? Nah, walks on.
Have they been down this aisle 5 times?
Yeah.
They know we close in 5 minutes, don't they?
Oh, please don't get me started on that kind of crap. Oh, sweet Jesus. Anyway. Master Samuel, how are you this wonderful evening?
Well, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. There is a small matter I wish to discuss, if it's alright with you. Nothing too tricky, I hope.
Well, it depends on what that would be.
And again, you are the person that was kind enough to allow me into your coterie. Yes, Grandmother Dorcas did bring me into the area to bring to you. So, again, I try to uphold loyalty as best I can. In that regard, Grandmother Dorcas is curious of a certain gentleman. I believe it's your sire over at the academy, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might be your contact, I'm not sure.
My sire isn't here. You mean the primogen of the Tremere clan?
Ah, yes, that gentleman. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes I get my information mixed up just a little bit.
You'll know if my sire were here in the city. It's just more of me, basically.
That is both intriguing and terrifying at the same time. No offense.
He's a very powerful thaumaturge.
I believe it, sir. Now, again, she's curious of the primogen just due to the fact that he seems to be leaving the city quite a lot. They've seen him leave multiple times throughout the month and whatnot. The problem is they're not quite certain on the people he's leaving with. Now, it could be students, could be ghouls or the kindred. They're not 100% sure. I know you keep in contact with them on a decent basis. I wouldn't say regular, but something more weekly to bi-weekly reports, I'm sure. Anyway, they're curious of something wrong with him. I wouldn't say he's going mad, but they just feel something's wrong. Stressed, maybe? Or something troubling him a little too hard?
Do you have a description of those that he is leaving with?
Unfortunately, she did not say. I could probably find a felon, find a fellow Nosferatu to see what I can learn, but for the most part, I wasn't given much more detail than that. Unfortunately, that is the part that worries me. So, again, they're being a bit nosy of your primogen, so, again, to show loyalty, I'm making sure you are aware of Grandmother Dorcas and a few things she's curious of.
Well, I did have an inkling that was part of the reason why you were so immediately introduced to me. It's no real secret that she's been curious as to what I might be doing, or what I'm after. Or am I wrong?
If they only knew. They only knew that you weren't a fool, and that some people like to try and act other clans are. But of course, you're right. She's more curious of things you're doing as well. I try to omit as much as I can of the reports. Mainly play a blind eye, or how do you say, stupid, to some things that you might be doing.
Appreciated.
Of course, as I said, loyalty is the one thing I try to uphold. And again, you are the actual person that took me in. She just gave me a direction to go. Look, I do owe her loyalty, but just as much as I owe you.
Well, as much as the prince is the authority of the city, Grandmother Dorcas holds close to just as much authority with her contacts underground. It's wise not to antagonize her. I learned that a long time ago.
Of that I have no doubt. But that is a current problem. And I figured I could inquire from you if you might have just a little bit of idea. If not, I might have to try and throw a feeler out or two at the university, see if I can find something myself. Since you are a more direct contact, it would be easier.
Unfortunately, him leaving is news to me, honestly.
Interesting.
Samuel, you would be aware that he's been missing some of his tutoring sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he's been off on his own business, but yeah, you wouldn't have known he was leaving
Right.
the city.
From my own contacts, and you're free to share this as you see fit. Through my own contacts, I know that rather unusually he's been missing a few of his tutoring sessions with his children, which is odd in and of itself. I did not know he was leaving the city to do it, however.
Ah, and there we have it. Oh, a little way to give you information. The things we all can learn together.
Precisely.
Yeah, on that note.
Keep me informed of what you learn.
Oh, but of course.
The primogen of our clan, or my clan, disappearing into the night like that is... When there's so few of us left, especially on edge as he is lately, with the Banu Hakim being a part of the Camarilla now. It is...
unsettling.
It is worrisome, yes.
I do not blame you. If I may, how is your own research going?
Fishing for knowledge, are we?
I'm a Nosferatu. Information is the one key power I like to have. It's a nice leverage in many situations.
Well, it seems you and I are more alike than I thought.
What was that old saying? Oh, I heard it years ago. Knowledge is power and power is pain. Good thing we don't feel that much anymore, now do we?
That is very true. Suffice it to say that my studies are going apace, though I am close to a breakthrough of something of some import. Let's leave it at that.
Well, on that note, fantastic for you. I can't wait to see the fruit of your labor.
It will be plain to see, should it ever come to pass.
Fair enough, fair enough. Right. Well, that's mostly what I wanted to know from you. Actually, one other thing. Is it possible that there's a contact at the university I might be able to get to have a pleasant chat with? A cup of tea, maybe?
There are none of other clans that are permitted to visit.
Well, fair enough. Can't hurt me by asking. Just
I
means
could see about potentially arranging a meeting. However, you do need to keep in mind that as his children, they do hold some form of loyalty to the man, however small it may be.
Of course, of course. Well, if you can arrange the meeting, is it possible you can clear that slate that evening that you get it scheduled? You can
see
tell
what
me,
I can do.
though. I appreciate it.
I can promise nothing.
Oh no, I understand that wholeheartedly. The whole gist is, I don't have to talk to them. Only you do. I just need to be around to hear it.
Of course.
Well, anything in the shop I can help you with. I see you're balancing the books at least. Anything new come in needs to be checked out. Make sure nothing suspicious on it.
Would there be?
Anything suspicious that's coming to the shop? Nah,
Yeah.
not really.
Not really.
It's pretty standard antique-ish bric-a-brac. Yeah. Y'all aren't really worried about making a profit off the shop per se.
Yeah.
Just keeping, you want it to pay for itself so nobody looks at it and goes, why is that place still in business?
Yeah. It's basically what he's doing is making sure that that as any good budgeteer, that the budget stays at zero for costs and income.
Again, perfect balance. It all works.
Perfectly balanced is all.
Oh, shush.
Ain't got Todd Howard. It just works.
Maeve, you
Yes.
are at your club.
Mm-hmm.
It's let's see, I believe it's a Thursday. I said so. Not one of your busier days, but there's a decent crowd for a Thursday in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of you've had a couple of kindred come through. Doing the kind of bar hop hunting style that some of them do. The club is outside the actual borders of your domain, so that's not poaching.
Yeah.
And they're semi-regular, you know one of them's name, the other one you just recognize on sight or whatever. They give you a nod, when they come in. And they don't cause any trouble. At some point, you do notice somebody come in. They never buy a drink. They move around, they're talking to some people. A few times they kind of glance over in your direction. But they don't really make eye contact. It's just like they're aware you're there. But they chat with. No, this is actually a man.
Yeah. Okay.
But they chat with a bunch of people. They sit at the bar. They don't actually get out and dance, but there's not a lot of that going on right now anyway. As I mentioned before, a lot of the clubs in Huntsville are really just bars that, have a dance floor that gets used every now and then. And they're there an hour or so doing this, and they slip out and leave.
Okay.
Let's see. Blackjack was staying on his farm pretty much.
Pretty much, unless, like I said, unless somebody needs him for something, he's not a. He will go. He will go when called, but he's gonna stay in his little area.
He got fussed at. He's sulking.
That, and that's just what he always did, and he's gonna look around, and he's still kind of looking for that hippie vampire
On his farm.
in the area.
On his farm.
Still looking in the area.
Well, I don't see a hippie. Now I'll step
Maeve is
outside my
gonna
barn.
Maeve is gonna message Blackjack like, stop sulking.
I
You
don't
fucked
know what
up
you're
your fuck
talking
up.
about.
Come by the bar. Be social.
He'll
Stop
think about it for a
sulking.
while, and maybe roll up at some point.
Now, the Thin Bloods that have been given access to your domain. And it's up to you kind of how much free roam they're allowed to have. Are they allowed to hunt, or do they have to go out to kind of the neutral areas?
Yeah, they were told they couldn't hunt in the
Okay,
area. They
that's
have
right.
to-
That's right. I think I do
out of
remember us
the domain.
actually covering that last time.
Yeah, it's pretty much they're just allowed if they don't feel safe in their domain in the north. They were allowed to come down in here to sleep during the day.
Okay. And one or two others, in addition to Bree, have probably tried to find jobs within the domain. Some of the local shops or something. Which is not technically something they'd have to have your permission to do. But that kind of comes with Thin Bloods kind of falling through the cracks of how the rules work. The trick is they do that in a domain of somebody that doesn't like them. They could wind up whacked or something. Now, do they have ways to contact any of you?
Probably just Jolene.
Okay. Jolene is their contact point.
Yeah.
Because she would have given the information to Eddie.
And all Samuel would ask is if they were setting up sort of like permanent, like job situations that he just want to know where they're working so he can keep track of them.
So let's see. Maybe around 1:30. Towards the tail end of your shift at the old Waffle House, you get a panicked text from. Let's see. A Willard Barnett. He's somebody that he hung around for some of the early alchemy lessons you had. He was not one of the people that already had some experience, but he was, you expressed curiosity about it, and he was kind of curious, and
Group classes.
you don't know if he's really pursuing it or anything. He had a vaguely, well, I won't say slacker personality, but it's like he doesn't want to focus on the vampiric aspects of himself any more than he has to.
Jolene can relate to that.
He's another day drinker. He tries to keep a relatively, normal human kind of sleep schedule. other than the nights where he has to go out and hunt or something, because he does still have to do that. He's one of them that actually spent at least a few nights on your couch before he kind of found somewhere else in the area to stay. Kept a full jug of sweet tea in your refrigerator at all times.
As one does.
He's not from Huntsville proper, but he's definitely a local boy from, the northern part of the state.
Sweet tea, dead giveaway.
Lots of sweet tea. You never saw him without a glass, at least half full, close by. But you get actually you get a call from him.
Take it.
He was close to 60 when he was turned just here recently. No, I say recently, in the last few years. Him and Jolene have probably been kindred for about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So he can text. He's not great at it. He doesn't really like it.
Yeah.
Boomer texts.
She has to explain like acronyms to him, like no, LOL doesn't mean that.
What the F does WTF mean? Yes. But you answer the phone, and you can hear the sound. You can hear the sound of his shoes slapping on the pavement. He is clearly running.
Willow? What's up? What's going on? Why are you running?
Somebody in a van tried to snatch me.
In a van?
Yeah, it was
Where
like
at?
it was like one of them kidnappings on TV. They just kind of pull up in a van and jump out. I mean, one of them suckers was strong too.
Shit.
It's definitely ain't actually, what does he say over the phone?
She probably would have been trying to impart some because they have to call her. Be like, let's try and keep it kosher over the phone, people. Just
he's kind of panicky though, but
yeah.
but he keeps together. Definitely ain't
with him pausing.
Normal
Jolene
folks.
might be able to interdict too.
That's true. Definitely not or he said one of them is strong. Definitely not a average folk.
Right. She kind of looks over, probably like at Linda, like I gotta go. Something came up. I'll pick up. She probably has like 15 minutes left on her shift. 15, 20 minutes.
You didn't have a whole lot left to go, so.
She's like, I'll cover you like extra on your break next time, and like is out the door. Where are you at? I'm gonna come pick you up.
He gives you a street corner.
Okay, stay on the phone until I get there.
Let's see, Bailey. It's on Bailey Cove Road, which is one of the main roads through the domain.
They tried to snatch you there?
No. He gives you the, he rattles off.
But was it still in the coteries domain?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Somewhere around here.
Okay, you stay on the phone. I'm driving your way. How you doing? How's the kids been doing?
What? Oh, yeah. Fine.
She'll make like small talk until she gets to him to make sure, he stays on the phone.
You're getting close because he's kind of rattling. He's staying on Bailey Cove basically, but he's rattling off streets as he runs past them. Kind of keep you up to date on where he's at. Oh crap! I think that's the van again.
How close is she?
You're a couple blocks away is all.
She's gonna probably put a little bit more speed into it. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's the street is not empty, but it's pretty slow.
Yeah.
Over
Get a
the
ticket
phone,
later.
you can hear an engine getting closer to him. I guess you'd say, pitter-patter of his feet is picking up more and more speed to the point that you're pretty sure he's moving faster than, normal folk move. Not a whole lot. Not like Blackjack can move.
Really?
Or Maeve. Maeve could book it.
Yeah.
Yes. Any of your
celerity.
celerity people.
Maybe
Not quite
the
that fast, but
celerity.
he may be burning some blood to hustle.
Yeah. Well, be careful now. You know you got that bad knee.
What have about everything if that van hits me?
No, I know that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you. Damn rules. You come into view of him, and he's trucking it. It's maybe faster than a human can go would be an exaggeration, but
A 60-year-old man should not be moving that fast.
yeah, a 60-year-old man should not look like he'd be coming in, second place to, Usain Bolt or something.
Usain bolting it. She will get up as close as she can and be like leaning over to kind of open up the door.
But well, you're coming kind of one way. He's running towards you, and you see this black van that just on his tail.
Is there any traffic in the other lane?
1:30
in the
Away
morning?
back, you see some headlights, but nothing up close.
She's like, I swear to God, if this wrecks Oogie, I'm gonna be pissed. And she goes across lanes to try and make sure she can scoop up with it.
So you trying to get between him and the van, or how are you trying to do this?
Like, if the van's coming this way, and like there's like between, she's trying to get to where like she gets towards Willard first. Like, even if she has to cross traffic. So she
Bailey
can at least,
massive street.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide one.
so like she can at least get him into the vehicle and try and outrun this van.
Trying to do some baby driver stuff.
Yeah.
The van is awfully close to Willard rather. I mean, to the point that it's becoming clear to you that they are trying to hit him at this point.
And they're not only a capture job, they're just trying to run him over.
Thing is, though, if he's if he doesn't have vampiric resilience, it's gonna hit him like a human.
Maybe they decide he's annoying enough to risk it. But
Rescue for the biscuit.
She's still gonna try and maybe not get over between them if they're that close, but try and be getting right up in there.
well, when you start cutting
Blame it
across,
on her horn.
they start to swerve. Give me a drive roll.
Okay, drive plus what?
Baby driver.
Wits, awareness, composure.
Let's go composure.
Alright.
Dexterity.
I mean, that's also another good
Ooh,
one.
That's not bad.
3 successes.
Yeah, there you go. Not
pretty
too
good.
bad.
You have a pretty good dice pool for driving, actually.
No, I have a 1 in drive. I have 4 in composure.
Yeah, that's a pretty, in this particular situation, it's a pretty good pool for your drive roll.
Storyteller says.
I'm like a lot of dice.
Survey says.
It sounded like 2 or 3 dice. That doesn't sound like a lot of dice.
Sounded like 25 dice.
You would know how-
Jason
you
does a
would know
thing when
what-
he has a lot of dice to roll. He
You
didn't
know
do the
what
thing.
25 dice would sound like rolling at once.
You've done it with a fireball.
All right, so you got 3. They got 3.
I'm cute.
So both of you manage not to run into each other.
I love that. You go, you got a 3, they got a 3, she really pops with, I'm cuter.
Well, you can't see them yet, so you don't know that. So you both wind up kind of slamming on your brakes and skidding around. So you're now parked sideways on the street between each other.
Like reaching over, opening the door.
Willard backtracks. He had run past a little bit. He spins around. Does this car have a back seat?
Doesn't have a front seat.
Is it a 2-door? Is what I'm saying. 2-door or 4-door?
I put a picture of it up in the.
That's right.
Scroll.
I've still got that Pinto on my head.
It's a 2-door, but she's got like the front door open.
All right. Let's see. The way I'm picturing it. Basically, you open your door, he dives kind of over you and into the driver or into the passenger floorboard.
That works too, Willard, but like slams it and is like already like slamming on the gas before he's even.
While this has been happening, one of the guys in the van has jumped out the passenger side and is coming around.
I will run your ass over.
All right.
What does he look like? She's going to be getting that description too.
He's dressed in mostly black. Well, jeans, a black hoodie, the hood's pulled up. He's kind of snarling. You can tell it's a kindred.
Yeah. Looks over at Willie. Get a picture of the van. Get a picture of the van. Get a picture of the van.
How do I do the phone on this thing?
She expects that, but she's like trying.
He
Double
flicks
tap
his
the
little
lock
flip
button.
phone open.
Double tap the lock button.
Well, actually, he'd already had it open because he was talking to you. Anyway, the guy that gets out, what was it you yelled?
I will run your ass over. If she sees it's a kindred. Kind of snarling. Does it look... Does it look like how Maeve gets when she's fighting?
It's just kind of a pissed off expression.
Still gonna yell. No. Just yells, I will run your gangrel ass over.
He rears a hand back.
Oh shit, back.
You just slam on the gas. Up on the curb.
She's like trying to get it. Whatever she's got to drive to get away from him.
I mean, you say that. Those old cars are sturdy.
Roll me another drive check.
Alright. Don't fail me now, best.
Let's see. Going to say that you need
It's
2 successes to count as
actually...
1, and then we'll go. Then extra
I'm
successes
gonna
will be
burn.
normal as usual.
I'm gonna burn willpower if that doesn't pass.
Well, that'll depend on what they roll.
I'm gonna burn some willpower just as.
That sounded like a lot more dice that time.
Yeah, I'm burning me some willpower for those other dice.
Oh, that's a good roll. That's a good roll. All right. You can re-roll. You can re-roll up to 2 dice with a willpower, because you cannot re-roll the hunger dice.
3.
All right, so that's 3 successes versus their 4.
Damn.
So I said he reared his hand back. A sort of, well, a green flame appeared in his hand, and he kind of hurls it at you like a baseball.
The actual fuck?
You swerve around with the car, so it doesn't hit the window, but it does hit like the
back of it, quarter panels.
Yeah, let me go back if we can find that picture.
I'll relink it in there.
And that's the Pinto I posted. Okay, there's the one you. So yeah, it hits the basically like the trunk.
I just got this less than a month ago, you bitch!
What does aggravated damage do to a car?
Nothing good.
Well, if it hit the trunk,
My
next
trunk's
to
gone.
nothing. Unless it explodes. If it's just fire, probably just singes the paint.
It's a green flame, though.
Yeah, it's
Wait.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't explode into a huge D&D style fireball or nothing like that.
No.
You feel some impact when it hits, though.
And
And then there's a little, it hits and kind of flares up, but the car doesn't stay on fire or anything. It's not like he was throwing napalm at you.
Wait, it's a green fire. It's a healing flame, right?
Sure.
flavored fire.
I'm sorry, I love it. I get 2 eye rolls and a laugh. I consider that a win tonight.
So, anyway, the van starts kind of squealing its tires, and
Here's the closest Elysium.
he jumps back in. And the guy that did the fire grabs his door and jumps back in.
Where would be the closest Elysium from here?
Let's see. As the crow flies, it would be the country club in the ledges. Let's see. Y'all are in your domain currently.
Might be the
So like I said, the ledges is probably the one you get to the quickest.
I mean, if they're pissed off enough to chase you up there, there's going to be some probably pissed off Primogen wanting to have some words with them.
That's true. You do know some important people stay in the ledges. Do you want to lure?
Yeah, probably not.
The Waltons Mountain area over here
Nope.
is just outside. If you look on the map where it says Jones Farm West, Walton Mountain is just right up there to kind of the northeast. It's just outside the domain, but there was. I want to say that is the kind of bar club area. It's one of the smaller Elysiums. I want to say that's where Colin and Maeve met up with Samuel one time, and I think maybe y'all met there one other time.
Okay.
It is much more the Elysium, the less powerful kindred go to. It is truthfully probably where Blackjack should have taken because they could get a runner to the Seneschal pretty quickly.
She's gonna get on the phone and call Samuel.
Okay. Willard does seem to have finally gotten the phone working. He's clicking pictures from behind. He's turned around in his seat and clicking pictures.
Did you happen to see the license plate? Do you remember that?
No, they came up behind me, so
Cool. You're doing great, Willard. Hi, Samuel. So, fun shift tonight. I got some stalkers. You can probably hear the engine of the car. Hello?
yeah, it does sound like it's trying awfully hard.
Oh, shit. Where are you going?
That's a damn good question. They're in the area. Big old boys. Got their own particular set of skills.
Right.
You know how I don't like crashing parties. I'm just trying to figure out if I should go.
What bar are you going to go drink your woes away at?
That's a very fine question. How fancy do we want to be? And if I go somewhere fancy bawling my eyes out, are they going to be pissed at me? I got a friend too. Say hi, Willie.
It's Willard. Hello, Doctor.
Willie just.
Somewhere where Maeve and Blackjack can get to.
Okay, yeah, definitely not where I was gonna originally go. Okay, I'll see you there. You gonna join? It's gonna be a fun time. They do some things that you might be very interested in.
All right, then.
The fucked up Oogie.
He'll cut off the call. Open it
And
up.
she's gonna go to the Walker Mountain.
Group call Maeve, Alexander, Blackjack.
Maeve is gonna go off to the side door to answer the call.
There's no way you know how to do this.
So it seems that my wayward daughter has decided to pick up some stalkers. Y'all want to crash the party.
I'm off for fucking up some people.
Well, I was a bit bored tonight, but sounds more interesting. Let's see what we can do.
Where are we going?
Remember that bar that we met Maeve's father at?
Oh. I'm on my way.
You might enjoy it, Blackjack. Some of them seem to be of your persuasion.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
And he'll click it off. Heavy leather jacket, all that stuff. Get in the motorcycle.
Dragonfire rounds.
If he has to. No, he's
Maeve?
definitely bringing his silenced pistol with him. He's not bringing the shotgun, because marching into a bar with a shotgun is a little bit,
It depends on what kind of bar.
Yeah, it's asking for trouble a little bit there.
You can
Open
just
carry
ride
state, though.
outside.
Open carry state.
It is open carry, but I think people will try to figure out what the heck you're doing marching into a bar with a shotgun.
Someone done fuck with my daughter.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
So careful before you continue on with that sentence.
All right, so
Maybe
y'all are headed to
until-
Walton Mountain.
People, she's heading out and gonna head over there.
Okay. They don't fuss too much. This late, they're getting ready to close up anyway, or possibly they're already in the closing up phase. So
Also,
Good.
there may or may not be some concern with the gate guard when Samuel tears out on a motorcycle.
Sir, that
He's
was
the
a
one
bit
that actually
loud.
leaves a skid mark.
Not the skid mark, but it's pretty rare someone sees him leaving in a hurry.
Alright. I assume Jolene gets there first.
If she gets there.
If she gets there,
Yeah.
True.
because they are trying to catch up with her.
Okay.
Their
How far
vehicle
is
certainly has the more
she?
powerful engine, but it's also the larger vehicle.
Yeah.
How far is there from where Maeve works?
Maeve is probably closer than anybody else. Because your club, I want to say, is in this general area.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're only heading up here.
Yeah. So Maeve will probably get there, or we'll be looking for Jolene's car
Mhm.
on the way there.
Now, Jolene will head, basically you spun around, you're heading north on Bailey Cove, going to hit Valley Bend, which is really the same road, it just kind of changes names at a particular red light.
Yeah, it's pretty open road too.
And then you go right past the road down from the ledges.
She's giving.
All likelihood, you
car
will
all
meet
it's got.
Samuel at that point.
Yeah.
Give me another drive roll. Still with composure, because it's very important that you don't freak out.
I'm gonna reroll. I've done 2 willpower. I'm gonna reroll 2.
You can reroll the 3.
I don't want to
Really?
burn all my willpower.
Oh, you don't. It's 1 point.
It's 1
to
point to
reroll
roll
One
up to 3 dice.
Oh well, dang. Okay, I'm gonna reroll all 3.
Have we been doing this wrong so far? In the
I was
Chronicle?
thinking like each point of
Oh,
willpower was a
damn.
dice to reroll. Well, that fucking sucks. Okay.
Alright, so you got a total of 2 successes.
Yeah.
They got 3. So now I want you to give me a drive plus dex as they have come up and actually bumped you. Yeah, they're trying to do like the cops that make you kind of spin out or whatever.
I mean, I got a 10.
But it's only 1 success.
I know.
So you do kind of spin around. You wind up kind of catty corner in the over the edge of the road. And they pull the van around to try to get, let's see, try to get in front of your car.
Slam it into reverse.
As you do that, the sliding door on the van opens up.
She's gonna pop a vial and chug it.
Which one?
One of her thin blood ones. Fuck, what do I got? Fuck it. We're gonna go with Haze. I'll link it in there.
Okay.
It's mostly like an obscuring thing to kind of, and she's gonna rouse check it to make it a larger cloud, make it open up the windows so it envelops the car. Because if it can envelop up to 5 people,
Then I would let it envelop a car. It wouldn't be so much they wouldn't know about where the car is or anything. You know, the very end's not be sticking out, but as far as trying to target anybody inside the car. Now, how many successes do you have to roll to make that work?
it works, but 2 and below means it is delayed in working.
Okay. Well, when those van door opens, there's 2 guys there with handguns. They start unloading on your car.
I just got this, and like ducking behind the wheel.
Uh,
Pulls Willard down too.
yeah, Willard kind of tries to get down in the...
She's trying to throw it in reverse.
Alright, so they're going to shoot at you.
My poor car. I just got it.
Ooh.
No, don't ooh.
So the first one, you know, one bullet hits the windshield, and you hear a couple of them ping off the body. And, you know, they're both, it's just pistols, but they're both just kind of sitting there going, pap, 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 pap. The other one, give me... What would you dodge with? Well, I guess it'd be the
She's
plain
buckled in,
old...
so how much dodge would she have?
Well, just hunkering down behind, you know,
Yeah.
the cover you've got.
Dexterity, maybe?
Yes, dexterity for sure, and I think dodge falls under athletics
Survival?
now. I think athletics is basically, because you used to have a dodge skill, but I think they folded that into athletics.
Alright.
So dex athletics.
Something I have no dice in, so there we go. That seems fantastic.
Well, I'm going to give them a slight penalty because you've got, you know, you're just ducking like that. You got so much cover kind of already going
Yeah.
on.
I got no successes, though, so...
Oh, okay, so that's... Alright, then he does a couple of rounds, make it through the windshield. You take 3 superficial damage. It's not
Cool.
it's not dragon breath rounds or anything.
She takes damage like a human, or like a vampire, so...
Okay. So that's 3 halved. So basically,
Mhm.
so do we round up or round down? We'll say round up for now, and I'll double check later. So you'd basically take 2 points in. And then you said you were basically gunning in at that point.
If they're in front of her, she's gonna try and back up because they're both out of the vehicle now, right?
No. The side door opened, and there were 2 guys.
Oh.
One of them you're pretty sure is the same guy from before, and then
The driver's still in the driver's seat.
The driver is still in the driver's seat. So you pop it in reverse and kind of spin around, kind of behind them.
Yeah, she's still gonna throw it in reverse. And
Okay. As you're doing
try and
this,
get around them.
that haze begins to form around the car.
She's like, I really didn't think this through. Because she's now driving through haze.
Well, luckily it's a pretty wide road,
Mm-hmm.
so you're just looking
It's
you're kind of looking for the
1:30.
little reflective things in the middle. You can kind of still make out where they're at.
Yeah. Well, and she can just miss it if it gets too much to where she can't see.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're driving forward, so it's kind of constantly pulling back, so you can see a little bit through it at the front.
Okay.
Visually, imagine you see a car speeding down the street, and there's just dry ice billowing out of the the fog, like from a dry ice machine, just
It's an old car. It looks like it's on fire.
just flowing out the windows.
It's like it's on fire.
Hmm.
It's okay.
Isn't this close to Blackjack's farm? Like if they're going down Valley Bend, like
this all
right
happened
next to
right before this red light here.
it? Okay.
So yeah, now they're spinning around. Coming to the edge of the road, you see her car, and you see smoke and fog just billowing out of it, almost like a comet coming out behind it, or like a comet's tail.
So Blackjack does or Maeve does?
The van. One guy has gotten back up into the passenger seat and is leaning out the window with the gun. The other guy, the side door is open. And he's hanging out, like standing up, kind of crouched and holding on with the gun out. They've been firing some more shots at you, but the mist and stuff, we won't worry too much about that.
Are you saying Blackjack saw that at this point, or that Maeve?
Um,
Or Samuel.
I'm picturing
So she went by
Blackjack's
the legend
farm. I think we
Yeah,
usually
but-
said it was kind of in this area.
Yeah, I think his farm is about here,
Yeah.
and the area for like the ledges to get into Valley Bend is like right there.
Yeah, that's that road right there. It's literally this little nook.
Yeah, because Maeve is like around here.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's not going to see anything until, you get to here.
Mm. But yeah, at this point, we'll say Blackjack and Sam both see this thing coming.
Am I coming this way to it, or am I coming like behind it?
Well, you could either be just getting to the road and seeing her coming, or you could have turned down to be trying to meet her kind of as she was coming.
Because my plan is to head-on collision them.
Not the truck.
He got a new vehicle. He said he did.
Yeah, I did. I'm using the new vehicle. I'm not using my truck.
I mean,
Crazy.
He has money. He can always fix the truck.
So what was your new vehicle?
It was just a little Volkswagen.
Oh, that's right. That
My
was the
intention-
Volkswagen, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. It's an older model still, which means it's still, decently sturdy, but it's not as sturdy as a truck. My intention is not to so much like plow through them. It's just to
Well,
have a speed
Volkswagen's not
bump.
going to plow through it. No version of a
Exactly.
Volkswagen is that sturdy.
Exactly.
Considering how
My
fast they're
intention
probably
is to my intention is to stop them from
Okay.
pursuing
Samuel,
Jolene.
are you pulling out right behind Jolene, or are you letting the van get past too and then pulling out?
He's letting the van get past, and then he's gonna pull out behind the van so he can get like license plate and all that.
Okay. Blackjack, give me a composure drive roll.
I have one less dice than Jolene does in this.
Oh, that's...
It sounds pretty good dice on it. Cool. One. I will burn a willpower for those two.
Okay, go ahead. They have 3 successes.
I have one success.
Alright.
Damn.
You try to hit them head on, they manage to swerve around you. Samuel, you've pulled out behind him. You have no problem keeping up with him on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You can, you could probably snap a picture of the license plate with your phone, or
Yeah, he is.
Samuel, being who he is, could probably just memorize the license plate like that.
Oh no, yeah, he's memorized it. What he's going to do is he's going to burn a bit of blood. Okay. Now to probably be dexterity to try and shoot one of the tires with his silenced pistol.
Yes, yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, so I'll put the point to dexterity.
You're going to need... I'm going to say you need at least 3 successes.
Right.
Both because it's, a relatively small target. It's a moving target.
And hopefully with them focused on hitting Jolene, they don't see
your first shot, they will not be actively trying to dodge you.
Well, that's a silenced pistol, so it'll be just...
Yeah, but if you miss the tire, it may still ding off the van and alert somebody.
That's true. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
So the first one, yeah, they won't be actively dodging.
Gotcha,
After that, they may be swerving a little bit and,
Right. Dexterity.
And basically making an opposed roll. But...
Mm-hmm. Three successes.
Excellent. The tire goes... It starts thumping. The whole van swerves a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there is one dude leaning out.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And he goes tumbling out. The guy that was leaning out the side door, he loses his grip and off to the side. Let's see. The guy driving the van gets, it gives a big jerk and kind of swerves. He gets control again pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to continue on, but with a flat tire, Jolene's starting to pull away.
Yeah.
The other two guys, they wind up. They're a little ways past. They're kind of dead center in the front of the big Jones Valley Shopping Center. You got the Target here.
Mm-hmm.
All that. The movie theater's right behind there. Once the driver realizes Jolene's pulling further away now, he just slams on the brake. Everybody bails off and heads for the beelining for the shopping center.
The one that's fallen, that tumbled out,
Mm-hmm.
Samuel is gonna pretty much swing, slide in by helmet up, and he's gonna try to compel.
Okay. And what do you resist that with?
Once Jolene sees a
Contest of charisma plus dominate versus... Oh, shit. I just accidentally collected a whole bunch of stuff. And now everything is... I'll have to retype that out. Now. Yay. Hold on. I need to look it up on here. There we go. The hell is it? There we go. Versus intelligence resolve.
Alright, intelligence resolve. Alright.
Yeah. And Blackjack is probably right behind him at this point.
No. Blackjack is going after the people that are going to the shopping center.
Fair enough, okay.
Jolene has dropped the mist once she sees that the van has stopped. But she's going to keep going to the museum.
Was Alexander headed towards the Elysium?
He was going to try his best to make it over there.
Okay.
Somebody pick up Alexander on the way.
No, it's fine. He'll just sprint through the sewer system, eventually find a manhole, and just pop out.
Blackjack texts the group. I'm going to Target. Do y'all need anything?
Alrighty. So
You run past a few
I'm
sewer
driving a
workers.
response.
You run past a few sewer workers who just do this. They have an understanding. Nope, not my problem. Field is up.
Nope, I am re-rolling 3 of those.
Rats are awful big down here.
Alright,
Alright.
4
Oh.
successes.
And you said he resisted with.
Intelligence
Resolve.
and resolve.
He got 2 successes.
Okay. His command is to lie still and don't move.
He drops to the ground.
He's going to call Lucas, or Luke. After basically pulling out stuff to bind his hands and wrists and all that.
Okay, so
Pull
you're
him off
going to be
there.
calling Luke and
He's basically citizen
securing
arresting.
this guy.
Yeah. Using his domination to force him to stay still. Since it lasts for this scene.
Blackjack, when they see you, are you still in your truck following them in, or have you jumped?
I'm in my car following.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Following
Sorry.
them until
Your vehicle.
Mm.
I'm so used to it just being in the
at
truck.
my punch buggy.
All right, so you pull into the shopping center basically. They've split up. One of them's heading for the Target, which is closed at this point. Shopping center's about empty.
What's the bigger one going to? Towards?
The bigger guy, he's actually kind of looping around like he's going to duck behind the Red Robin that's out close to the street.
I'll beat his ass.
Beat your ass behind a Red Robin.
You ever got whooped
I
behind
mean,
a Red Robin?
you joke about that, but I've seen it happen. So
have
it's
I.
very true.
I am what they call from the hood. I have seen that happen.
So yeah, he ducks in amongst. He gets behind the Red Robin. You're following him around. When you're around the corner, you don't see him.
I will say out loud, "You mess with her again, I'll fuck you up." Drive off.
The other guy has made it to the sidewalk of the in front of the Target, and is basically running down the rest of the shopping center.
I'll leave those guys alone. I don't give a shit about them. I cared about the big guy.
Yeah. After he calls Luke, and basically the gist of the call is, have some troublemakers here. This is the location. One apprehended. And then he would also call Maeve and Alexander and said that he has somebody here and could probably use some help.
May's gonna be like, well,
Actually, no, he'll tell Maeve to go check on Jolene at the Elysium. At the bar. That's what he will say.
Well, isn't Elysium the bar that they're going to? Is an Elysium.
Well,
Like
yes,
over
but he's not
technology.
saying that.
Oh,
over
that's
the
right.
phone.
Gotcha.
He's saying meet them at the bar.
Yeah, he's saying he'll ask Maeve to go check on Jolene at the bar and ask Alexander to come to him and help him secure this person for citizen's arrest.
You tell people you're making notes when they screw up, and they're so careful.
I've always been.
That's true. Samuel always has been.
Blackjack's gonna loop around after that and
That's
go back to Samuel.
Okay.
Next thing you know, Samuel just sees a manhole cover nearby, just slightly raised.
You rang.
Luke responds with, "Oh yeah, over the police radio, I've heard a few calls out to that area."
You're welcome.
The police may want to talk to you, if you're still there when they get there.
Then this will be a fun conversation.
That Blackjack won't be a part of because he's gonna leave with Alexander.
It's like, oh, but say, have fun, Samuel. Just raise his lid. Go, 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 go.
And you're starting to hear sirens in the
Both go into the
distance.
sewer.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he has his car. He'll offer Alexander passage. A vehicle, and he'll.
So what does Samuel do with his guy? Since everybody in an actual car is driving off, and you've got your motorcycle.
I mean, if
Yeah.
the cops are being called, then
And
as soon as
his
Samuel says that-
motorcycle is like it definitely probably has some damage because he literally slid it as he came in on the guy.
It's just throw
Well, that's
him
mostly scuffing.
over
I
the
mean,
back,
everybody
Yeah.
lays the bike down at some point.
drive off with person.
And said the van got abandoned too, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
Okay, and can
I mean,
he
it's
still see
drivable,
it?
but it's got a flat tire, so it ain't gonna go nowhere quick.
Well, yeah. Can he still see it? Where it's
Oh
at?
yeah. They didn't go very far
Okay.
before they stopped and bailed out.
Yep. So cops have arrived, more than likely.
You hear the sirens in the distance, yes.
Okay. Yeah,
So
he's
you're gonna wait
gonna.
there, you gonna wait there for the police to show up?
That's what he told Luke he was gonna do. Yeah, he's gonna make sure he's like triple bound this dude, like arms behind, like attached his legs to his arms.
I mean, Alexander would have helped initially,
yeah,
and then once to help him get bound, and then once the sirens come up, he's just gonna smile and be like, "I'm out," and
this is
like
your
hop-
problem
Just like
now.
that gift, just
Oh yeah, straight up just like that gift.
This ain't our problem. This is you're the police talker. I'm not.
All right, so this guy is bound up. You're standing next to your damaged bike. This guy, the abandoned van's,
Yeah.
50 yards or so down the road from you. The
Mhm.
first police car pulls up. What have you done with your gun?
He has. It is in the open, but what he has done when he pulled up is he has pulled it back to eject the magazine, pulled out the magazine, set it down
Okay.
to show that he's not armed, but that he did have to use it.
So it's sitting on the ground, and you're kind of doing this in other words, they pull up.
Basically.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he kind of. It's more of like he has one hand up, the other one is on this dude's back.
All right. The police pull up. They get out of their car. Both of them have the guns out.
I left mine down there. I'm unarmed.
Both hands in the air. Step away from him.
Would you mind making sure that he's secured before I do?
We've got guns on him. Step away from him.
All right, he'll back up.
And they come up and check on him. And he's obviously scuffed up, got a little road rash going on.
Yeah.
And it's after 9, so we're going to cut here. We will start up
Trying to
next
be
week
appropriate.
with Sam dealing with the cops and everybody else showing up at the Walton's Mountain Elysium.
No, maybe.
I thought you were
They're
about to say everybody's gonna
waiting.
show up at the Waffle House. I'm like, all right, let's hope we'll get pancakes.
Circle back.
Yeah.
Beat someone's
Just
ass at a
shows
Waffle
up
House.
shot.
Mm-mm-mm.
Beat someone's ass at a Waffle House. It's fine. Can I have waffle?
Can I get a waffle?
Give me a waffle.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. So anyway, hope everybody watching at home had fun. I enjoyed running it. I'm hoping my players had fun.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mhm.
And to those of you who stuck around to the very end, we appreciate every single one of you.
Oh yeah, there were several. There have been several in the chat.
Yes.
We had some decent talking.
Yeah, we
This
did.
go around. I think we had some new folks pop in and say hi. So.
I did see that.
Welcome
DW
aboard.
Rollins,
Mm-hmm.
for example.
There was somebody else up earlier too, but I'm not gonna scroll
Yes.
there right now. But
Let's see. One of the new people I noticed was Big Chungus Dads.
Yeah.
yeah,
Big
that was
Chungus.
trying to think of the name.
I saw Crund in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Krun the
Krun was here.
Barbarian.
Friend was there yesterday.
So so anyway, any of you that showed up, hey, join us next time.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in a variety of games, you can come back tomorrow for Monster of the Week, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse game.
Very fun.
Then Descend into Avernus is our Thursday game,
Mhm.
which is D&D 5th Edition, the the actual
You're
system.
seeing a lot of me this week.
I think that wraps us
That
up
could
for the
just list
weekend. We come back on Monday with the Escorts, which is another D&D 5th edition, and then we'll be back on Tuesday. I've been your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and again with me has been Decca playing Blackjack, Sarah playing Jolene, Rap playing Maeve, Duba playing Alexander, and Eric playing Samuel.
God damn it.
And,
He
God damn it,
just
Duba.
lives Nosferatu life. That's just his thing.
and we will see y'all next time.
Bye bye.